Coming up on KUJH, an affidavit reveals more information on former Kansas men's basketball player Arterio Morris's alleged rape case.
Next, learn where you can receive your free flu shot.
And still to come, we show you how the KU campus is celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day and why the teepee is a key symbol in the celebration.
Live from the studio in Stauffer Flint at the University of Kansas, you're watching KUJH News.
Welcome back to KUJH News. I'm Dylan Vanderveen.
And I'm Jackson Reed.
This Saturday, Hamas launched a large-scale surprise attack on Israel, killing at least 1,200 people. Israel has now since declared war on Hamas. Saturday marked the end of Sukkot, a 7-day-long Jewish holiday. Since the attack came at the end of the holiday, many Israeli troops were unprepared. The attacks lasted 6 hours before they were reined in. During those 6 hours, Hamas launched up to 3,000 rockets into Israeli cities from the Gaza Strip. They also attacked from the ground, taking about 20 Israeli villages. Gaza is a small Palestinian town, roughly the size of Washington, D.C. Gaza is home to nearly 2 million people. Though the conflict has been happening for over 100 years, these attacks are some of the most violent they've ever seen. This violence has since left Israeli and Palestinian students at KU scared and concerned.
Yeah, it's definitely very scary. Personally, I don't know too many people out over there. I know a few, but I know a lot of friends that have a lot of loved ones and a lot of other friends that are in the thick of it, and everyone's just very scared right now.
The video you're seeing right now is from the left of a strip after the continued aerial airstrikes. The Israeli government has announced that any citizen still on the strip needs to evacuate quickly. So far, there's been reports of over 1,200 casualties, along with thousands of others injured. There's been reports of up to 150 people kidnapped as well and are being held hostage by the Hamas during the attack. 22 American citizens have been confirmed to have been amongst those killed in the attacks. President Biden has stated that the United States 100% stands with Israel and has sent supplies and reinforcements to help out the allies. The Israeli government has stated that Hamas will pay a heavy price for its actions. KU will continue to provide the latest updates as the story continues to develop.
New details are emerging on the case of Arterio Morris, who is charged with a felony account of rape. Morris, a former Kansas men's basketball player, was released from the team after being arrested on September 29th. An affidavit was made public yesterday, releasing more details about the case. KUJH's Brock Niemeyer joins us outside Allen Fieldhouse.
Yes, guys, currently just outside of Allen Fieldhouse, right next door to McCarthy Hall, where the alleged rape incident took place during the morning hours of August 26th. An affidavit released yesterday gave us new information into the ongoing investigation. According to the affidavit, the 18-year-old woman reportedly told Morris to stop multiple times, to which he refused. Head coach Bill Self was asked about this, and in a comment he said, quote, "When we were made aware of the situation with dealing with Arterio Morris, we suspended him from the basketball program. We are now aware he has been arrested and charged, and he was dismissed from the program. As this is an ongoing legal matter, we are no longer going to comment further at this time." Morris is set to appear in court next on October 18th, and we will continue to cover this story as more information comes out. For KUJH, I'm Brock Niemeyer.
Thank you, Brock, for that update. We will fill you in with the latest as that information is released. You've probably noticed the teepee standing in front of Strong Hall. The teepee was put up on Monday in celebration of Indigenous Peoples Day. KUJH Libby Johnson has more on why this is an important holiday.
Across the country, people celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day instead of Columbus Day. The holiday emerged decades ago to recognize the devastating impact colonization had on Native people in the U.S. At KU, the community celebrated Native culture by putting up a teepee on the lawn at Strong Hall. State Representative Christina Haswood was among the crowd that watched as the teepee was raised.
What Indigenous people really want to do is celebrate resiliency, celebrate surviving the genocide attacks within our country, but also celebrating our culture.
The Director of Native American and Indigenous Initiatives at KU says that support from the Provost Office has been a key piece in having events like this on campus.
The Native folks, I mean, we're Indigenous every day, right? But the other people, it serves as a good reminder for the community at large of what it means to be Native and what it means to be Native at KU.
While Indigenous Peoples Day is largely celebrated in Native communities, it is not seen as a federal holiday. A bill was introduced 2 years ago to recognize Indigenous Peoples Day as a public holiday in Kansas. but it has not progressed.
Especially with our state being Kansas, that was originally named of the Kaw people and the indigenous lands here of the indigenous people from Kansas. I think that's the least that we can do in the state level.
Thank you very much, Libby. There will be more events to celebrate tomorrow at the public library, including a drum and community round dance and a foraging identification hike at Haskell University on Saturday.
The KU Department of Visual Arts announced they have a new exhibit at Chalmers Hall featuring an Indigenous artist. KUJH's Abby Lord has more. Take a look.
On the third floor at Chalmers Hall in Edgar Heap of Birds Family Gallery, Henry Payer created new art for his exhibit titled Left on Red. The exhibit aims to show Indigenous stories of Ho-Chunk history through the pictures and collage paintings by creating a contemporary aesthetic.
To try to take Ho-Chunk aesthetics and to bring it to the forefront as opposed to being always identified as a native artist. We can, really reserve our own space and to be able to make work about ourselves, and we should define it as such. So I come from that background of trying to quote unquote decolonize or indigenize your practice and to try to make it more about who you are internally.
The artwork explores issues of land, identity, and personal experiences. Sam Avalia loved the campground piece because of how dynamic it is.
I really like the piece because it does go to create this assemblage of nature and also different art medias. For the stick that is glued onto the frame there, I really like how the artist is incorporating some of the parts of nature as well as putting in different themes of it for outside and then the camping and all that. I really do like how they are going into kind of innovate it a little bit more than just one different art medium.
Edgar Heap of Birds Family Gallery not only is a room in Chalmers, but also a KU endowment fund dedicated to showcasing Native artists. Payer is the third artist to have an exhibit, and he explains what this means to him.
The fact that my art can take me so many places, that so many people would want to see it, that it's brought me, across the country. And I enjoy that people will want to engage with it.
The exhibit opened on September 25th and will close October 20th. For KUJH News, I'm Abby Lord.
If you want to check out Payer's work, Left on Red is located on the third floor of Chalmers Hall in the Edgar Heap of Birds Family Gallery until October 20th. You can check it out from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every Monday through Friday.
Dylan, if we flash back to Indigenous Peoples Day and Libby's package, which was on Monday, you may have noticed the incredible weather in that package.
It certainly was. Ashton, how does it look outside right now?
Thanks, guys. We are taking a live look outside at KU's campus right now. You can see how much overcast there really was. If you were walking on campus already this morning, you probably saw that there wasn't quite that much sunshine today. You can see that being reflected here on our radar with all this cloud coverage right over Lawrence and most of the central and Midwest plains right now. However, though, that's not bringing us any storms until a little bit later this evening. Temperatures, though, are looking great in the 60s right now. We do have a pretty strong wind that is making it feel a little bit cooler than in those 60s at 23 miles per hour straight out of the south here in Lawrence right now. So it's cooling us off just a little bit. And something to keep in mind with those strong winds is that allergies are high today for the ragweed pollen. So that's just something you'll want to keep in mind if you are out. Maybe grab that allergy pill before classes today. And this is a glance at yesterday's temperature. We got up to 84 degrees, so getting pretty close to that high that was set back in 2020, but not quite there. Good news, though, is that we are cooling down in the next couple of days with these windy conditions. And then we're going to take a look at these evening storms we are expecting later tonight. And then we are taking a look at those temperatures for fall break. Back to you guys.
Coming up on KUJH, we learned about how local officials are educating the youth on politics.
Coming up next on KUJH News, I'm Blake Ullman, and I'll tell you what student groups across campus are doing to register voters ahead of the upcoming deadline.
Welcome back to KUJH News.
With November right around the corner, Lawrence's elections are rapidly approaching. KUJH's Blake Ullman tells us more about the upcoming deadlines and are for students planning on voting.
November might be the furthest thing from a busy college student's mind right now, but it's approaching faster than one might think. And with it, the deadline for voters to register to vote in this year's local elections is approaching even faster.
Local elections are important because that's where it most impacts you. Like, that's where you're living, that's where you are. Those are the people who are closest to you, and whoever ends up being in those positions that are voted on, they're the ones making the decisions closest to home for you.
Across campus, student groups and outside organizations have been busy registering students to vote. Volunteers with the Dole Institute of Politics and members of the Student Senate have been tabling on Daisy Hill and outside the Kansas Memorial Union for a while now.
They've also been really excited of like, oh my goodness, there's voter registration, like let me do it. It has been tough that we can't register out of state students, but we've given them some like simple instructions on how they can do that.
Students and Kansas residents have until October 17th to register to vote. In Kansas, anyone can register online at ksvotes.org. In Lawrence, voters will elect 3 city commissioners and 5 local school board members in the November elections. For KUJH News, I'm Blake Ullman.
Yeah, thanks, Blake. As a reminder for students, you have until next Tuesday to get registered. So don't wait, get registered.
The folks at the Lawrence Public Library have started a new initiative recently called Kid President. At Kid President, every other Wednesday, a political figure from the state of Kansas comes in to educate the youth. This week, Christina Haswood came in to speak. Here's what she had to say on why it's important to educate the youth about politics.
The current demographic of politics is there's not enough representation of younger folks. Currently in the Kansas State Legislature, there's maybe, I think, 1 Gen Zer, and there's a couple of us who are millennials, and a lot of issues. I say policy and politics, a lot of policy that we vote on, either good or bad, are inherited by the younger generation, and also underlying factors in their lives as well. So similar to what we're hearing a lot at the state levels, property taxes, that causes a lot of stress for parents and homeowners.
The class will continue to learn new things about politics every other Wednesday and even run their own campaigns later this year. The library looks forward to continuing to host this event, so if you would like more details, head over to unmistakably.lawrence.com for more.
Jackson, we talked a little bit about weather earlier this week, but we have Ashton outside right now. Ashton, how does the weather look at this very moment?
Hello, KU. I'm out on campus right now. Our temperatures are sitting in those mid-60s. However, though, with this wind gust up to 35 miles per hour today, it is feeling quite chilly out here. So if you are heading out to classes today, you may need to grab a jacket, but we'll talk more about these temperatures coming up. Back to you guys.
As we begin to enjoy that fall season with the wind, maybe or not, that means it's time to get your flu shot.
Flu season is underway, and the CDC reports that if influenza-like illness is on the rise this fall. Luckily, KU Watkins Health Center is hosting free flu shot clinics all around campus throughout October. Today, the clinic will be located at Burge Union from 11 to 1 p.m. Reporter Aiden Pessel sat down with the KU student Jackson Koval on why he decided to get the vaccine.
So I had class this morning. I saw the flu shot stand. I said, why not? I usually don't get it, but I got it this year, and I think I'm satisfied. Better to be safe than sorry.
If you can't make it today, but you want to get a flu shot, there will be clinics at the Underground and Strong Hall after fall break. Clinics will continue to pop up all over campus until November 1st.
After the break, we will catch you up with the latest in Kansas athletics. Stay right here on KUJH News.
I'm Jack Dennebaum, and coming up on KUJH News, I talked to the Eudora girls golf team that just made school history.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, Jayhawks. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed, Jayhawks are telling the world what's near. Victory.
Hey guys, and welcome back to KUJH Sports. I'm Claire Decatur. Let's get started. KU football got back on track last Saturday with a big win over new Big 12 opponent UCF. On the day, Kansas inducted 2 school legends, Tony Sands and Nick Reed, to the Ring of Honors. The Hawks went out and absolutely dominated. With Jalen Daniels still out with a bad back, Jason Beede got his 3rd start of the year and threw a second quarter touchdown pass to Lawrence Arnold that put the Jayhawks up 10. And the Hawks' running game took it from there. Some huge runs included a 75-yard touchdown to Devin Neal that highlighted a 399-yard rushing day for Kansas. Yes, you heard that right, 399. Kansas also did its part, giving up just 22 points and shutting down the UCF offense the entire first half. Kansas moves to 5-1 on the year after the 52-22 victory. The Hawks also found their team back in this week's rankings at 24 in the nation. Kansas heads down to Stillwater for a matchup with the Cowboys this Saturday. In other news for KU football, an anonymous donor has given KU a $15 million donation to help advance the Gateway District project and the renovations for David Booth Memorial Stadium. KU has secured over $300 million in funding for the project. KU Athletic Director Travis Goff praised the anonymous family's gift and exceptional Jayhawk spirit. Construction will break ground at the end of the 2023 season and is expected to be completed by 2025. Right in time for the 2023 season, Kansas men's basketball team has finally received its ruling from the FBI's 2017 investigation into college basketball. The NCAA's Independent Resolution Panel ruled that KU head coach Bill Self and assistant coach Curtis Townsend will not face any additional serious punishments after their self-imposed penalties last season. This included a 4-game suspension for Self and Townsend, a reduction of 8 total official visits in 2022 to 2023 and 2023 to 2024, 3 scholarships taken off the books from 2023 to 2025, and a 6-week ban on contracts with recruits and unofficial visits in 2022, plus 13 more recruiting days eliminated during the 2022 to 2023 season. Kansas will face a 3-year probation, and the Jayhawks will have to vacate 15 of its wins from the 2017 to 2018 season, as well as take down the 2018 Final Four appearance banner. With the 15 wins being stripped from Kansas, KU is no longer the most winning basketball school program in history. The eliminations of wins come from the illegal payments made by a former Adidas associate to former KU basketball player Silvio De Sousa. De Sousa was cleared to play his freshman season. This case, after the fact, ruled him retroactively ineligible for that season, prompting the stripping of wins in the Final Four banner. The panel found 2 Level 2 violations and 2 Level 3 violations for the school, 1 Level 2 violation and 1 Level 3 violation for Townsend, and 1 Level 3 violation for Self. IARPS's Cristina Greola-Chachillo explains why they gave Self and Townsend no extra penalties.
The payments were made. We knew that from the findings in the Southern District of New York. But what we had before us was, did any particular apparel company employee, did the outside consultant, did the apparel company itself become a representative of athletics interests for Kansas? And we did not find that there was credible and persuasive evidence that found that for the others. We did find it for apparel company outside consultant.
KU's Chancellor Douglas Gerard and Athletic Director Travis Goff said that in a joint statement, yesterday's decision by the Independent Resolution Panel confirms what we've said from the beginning. Major infractions of which we are accused were unfounded. Head coach Bill Self addressed the press yesterday afternoon about the infractions and the self-imposed penalties.
I don't think it implies a measure of guilt at all. What I think it implies is we were doing everything possible to move forward and put this behind us, and at the same time doing what was in the best interest of our present student athletes and future student athletes to make sure they were not impacted in any negative way whatsoever.
In August 2022, the NCAA announced it's discontinuing the IARP following the end of the Kansas case. According to ESPN's Way Too Early Top 25 rankings, KU is expected to open the college basketball season as #1 in the country. It may have been their only 2nd time competing in the Frontier League tournament, but that didn't stop the Eudora girls golf team from taking home the crown. KUJH reporter Jack Denevine has more on the story.
For the first time in Eudora High School history, the girls golf team are Frontier League champions. The team shot a combined 188 at the Frontier League 9-hole tournament Tuesday. Senior Joellen Vogt says she couldn't be prouder of how the team performed.
I think our team performed really well. We all had pretty good days. I mean, we all have our mess-up holes, which everybody happens. So I think it went really well.
Vogt led the Cardinals to the league title as she shot a 40 to be crowned league champion.
I mean, it feels good. I missed being league champion by 2 strokes last year, and that was very frustrating.
Along with Vogt, 3 other members of the team also earned medals by placing in the individual top 12. Sophomore Marley Grant placed 3rd with a 43, junior Brett Hayden finished in 10th with a 52, and senior Olivia Lawhorn placed 12th with a 53. Head coach Susan DeVoe says for the team to have 4 medalists is proof of them putting in the practice time.
That is hard work paying off, and it may not have felt like it to the team until they finally got to the end, which then they see 4 medals means we're hitting pay dirt finally.
While the Frontier League Championship is great, DeVoe says it is only a stepping stone to what the team really wants.
The goal has been to win regionals, so this is just an extra carrot for them, but really the goal is still to win regionals. So we get a day of celebration and then it's just back to it.
I'm Jack Dinnebeim reporting for KUJH News.
Hey, thanks, Jack. The Cardinals continued their history-making season this week as the team placed 4th at the regional tournament in Wamego and qualified for state for the first time in school history. In other sports, high school sports news, this Friday marks the renewal of the high school sports rivalry unlike any other. The Free State Firebirds are set to host the Lawrence High Lions in football this Friday, renewing the rivalry known as the City Showdown. The Lions came into the season with a 4-2 on the season and look to get back on track after falling to Olathe East last week. The Firebirds of Free State, however, continue to be among the unbeaten teams in the state of Kansas as they boast a 6-0 record. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. at the Free State High School for what is sure to be an entertaining matchup. That's all we have this week in sports. We'll see you after this break. Stay with us.
Coming up on KUJH, I'm Abby Lord. Find out where this mural is and who created it.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Welcome back to KUJH News. During National Hispanic Heritage Month, a vibrant new mural will surely capture drivers' attention. The dancing agua frescas and colors carry an important message for the Lawrence community. The owners opened up La Estrella Tienda Mexicana 23 years ago in hopes of bringing a Latin staples to Lawrence. The grocery store and taco shop owners want to help bring awareness to what staple La Estrella is. The mural titled Bien Ambiente, meaning good atmosphere, is a vibrant mural on the side of Estrella on Ridge. The city is partnering with a beloved grocery store for city's people's markets programs to draw attention for the need for equitable food systems throughout the artists and multi-grocery stores. Local artist Connie Fitzpatrick, the co-lead of artists on the mural, acknowledges the importance of this mural for the growing Hispanic community in Lawrence and finding cultural specific food.
Public art does a lot for a community, and especially a community that deserves a bigger, more colorful voice to be seen and acknowledged in Lawrence, Kansas, as the Latino population is growing. So it's been really beautiful to work on this and support this grocery and taco shop.
La Estrella colors on the mural match inside the chairs and tables that show a Latina spirit. The mural co-artist Javi Ortiz, along with Connie Fitzpatrick, worked together for a year to come up with the design and come up with the ideas to get them approved. They started painting in the hot July, and now Javi, a self-taught artist born in Mexico, explains what this means to him.
I mean, it feels really cool. You know, I get to see it almost every day. I drive by it, and yeah, it's just a little piece of me that I get to share with Lawrence.
La Estrella is located in a Ridge Court and is open Monday through Saturday from 9 to 9 p.m. and on Sunday from 10:30 to 8 p.m. Other Hispanic Heritage Month activities is the final event of the Department of Spanish and Portuguese The Job Market in 2023, workshop series of October 20th, as well as Portuguese language practice table on October 27th.
Dylan, KU students may be flocking elsewhere for fall break, but for the ones that are staying in town, Ashton tells us what the weather looks like for those that are staying in Lawrence.
Thanks, Jackson and Dylan. Yeah, our temperatures right here in Lawrence right now are sitting at 69 degrees, so it feels very nice out there. However, though, we do have a pretty strong wind that's going to stay with us for most of the day. Our temperatures are going to climb into those 70s, so if you have afternoon classes or plans this evening, we are climbing from 72 up to the upper 70s by later today. Wind gusts getting up to 37 miles per hour though, so it will be windy. Be mindful that when you're walking on campus or even driving, that can cause some type of interference there. Temperatures getting up to 78 will be our high, and we have this 40% chance of showers in the evening as our temperatures drop to 57 degrees tonight. And then with those 40% chance of showers, we are looking at a 1 out of 5 for marginal risk. So if these storms do pop up in our locations, they have the potential of bringing strong winds and hail. And if you are traveling early today for fall break going up towards Nebraska, be mindful that they are in a 2 out of 5, so a slightly stronger risk for those storms to pop up there. Temperatures across the country, though, we are hanging on to the 70s in the central and Midwest plains, up towards the northeast, more so in the 50s, and then down towards Texas, Arizona, New Mexico area, they are feeling the 80s still today, so it is much warmer there. However, though, if you are staying in Lawrence for the day and tomorrow, temperatures are at 66 degrees there tomorrow, and then fall break here in Lawrence is going to look amazing. Temperatures are in the 60s and mostly sunny from Monday and Tuesday. We don't have classes those days, so maybe get out and enjoy the nice weather. The winds are going to calm down, which is good. And these chances of storms are going to pass through us. In the next couple of days, we have this low pressure that's going to come pass through Lawrence, dropping our temperatures, bringing those chances of storms with it. But after that, we are in the clear, looking pretty nice for the rest of the week. Temperatures definitely feeling like fall, starting in these upper 70s and then making the drop into the 50s for the weekend, and then into the 60s to start our fall break off with. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ashton. A new drink has come to a local coffee shop to support a familiar KU football player. KUJH's Claire Decatur has more.
A new drink called Kenny Coffee has been added to the Uplift coffee menu this fall. The drink was uniquely created by KU football safety Kenny Logan that includes white chocolate, caramel, and a dash of cinnamon.
So we gave him a couple different samples, a couple different drinks to choose from and combos. And this one, he tasted it and was like, oh man, I love this. And so we kind of rocked with it and edited it just a little bit just to keep getting it to his preference. And then he found the one that he loved, and that's what we were rocking with.
Huesling says the reason Logan created a drink with them was because he loved coffee and desired to partner with a local coffee shop.
Part of the proceeds go back to student athletes, so it goes straight back to student athletes at KU and the NIL deals. So your purchase goes back to them.
This is Uplift Coffee's first NIL collaboration with a KU athlete, and they plan on doing more with the basketball team later in January.
It helps bring in recruits in the future. NIL has definitely helped a lot with KU football, bringing in future athletes, high recruits.
The drink is available at both Uplift locations and also their food truck on game days. Other student athletes and KU students have said the drink has been a hit.
I'm a huge coffee lover. I will drink any type of coffee you put in front of me, and so it's always nice to try new things. I've never been much of a seasonal person, so it's nice to try new things and push myself to try those, because otherwise I'll go to caramel flavors every single time.
For KUJH, I'm Claire Decatur.
Thank you very much, Claire. That Kenny coffee does look delicious. The drink is available hot or iced and will be available until December.
This might be the funniest story you'll hear all week. Just a few days ago, Crocs Company unveiled a cowboy-style Croc. KUJH's reporter Shemaya Massenberg asked University of Kansas students their thoughts on the shoe. Thank you, Shamara. If for some reason you want a pair of these things, the Croc Cowboy boots are set to go on sale October 23rd and retail at $120. So Jackson, not only do you get to be so stylish in those things, you get to pay $120 too. On sale October 23rd, so mark it.
I don't think so.
Thanks for tuning in to KUJH News this week.
Be sure to come back here right here next week at 11:30 for the latest on news, weather, sports, and maybe new Crocs.
Also, be sure to stay tuned on our social media for the bonus behind-the-scenes content.